So I'm here today to share with you one of the worst mistakes you can possibly make with your immigration case. This is a disaster, and it's the equivalent of taking a fork and poking it right into your eye. It's shooting yourself in the foot. Whatever kind of expression you want to have about what can go wrong with an immigration case, this is what it is. It's a terrible mistake, and I'm going to walk you through what happened and how you can avoid this mistake so you really don't want to miss this. If you don't know me, I'm Josh Goldstein. I'm an immigration lawyer. I'm based in Los Angeles. My firm also has an office in Boston. We handle cases across the country and around the world. We focus on all sorts of immigration cases. And our specialty, our real stock and trade, is how we're helping people with delayed immigration cases. You apply for citizenship, naturalization, you go to the interview, it gets delayed. It gets stuck for years or months. You apply for a visa, you don't get a visa interview, they make you wait. Or maybe you get an interview, and then after the interview, they put you in something called administrative processing, and you have to wait and wait and wait and wait. We resolve these cases. This is what we're good at. This is what we love doing. But back to the story. So I'm going to tell you what the client did, or what this person did, and I'm also here when I'm done with the story. I'm going to answer I'm going to try to answer any questions that you might have about your immigration case. So listen up, you don't want to miss this. So this person had a delayed immigration case. It was a delayed fiance visa. The person was engaged to get married. They filed a visa for their fiance who was back in their home country, and they waited and waited and waited and waited. Months went by, years went by. They finally got an interview. And after they got an interview, the fiance went to the interview and was put in administrative processing. So this was not a good thing. After the case was put in administrative processing, we were hired to file a lawsuit to challenge the processing delay so that this visa could get issued. We prepared the lawsuit. We filed the lawsuit. The case was pending. And then we found out that the client got married. So subway tunnel, welcome. So once the person got married, the whole case went down in flames. Because if you're engaged to get married and you're filing a fiance visa petition, the entire case is based on the fact that you're engaged to get married. You're not yet married. Once you get legally married, you are no longer eligible to be approved as the fiance. So you're not a fiance if you're married. So I think what happened is the person got really frustrated. They got sick and tired of the delay. It was dragging on, and they just really wanted to be married. But what they didn't understand is the legal ramifications of getting married. That means that their fiance visa case was torpedoed. It went down in flames. It also meant that they had to basically start over from square one and file an entirely new immigration case based on marriage. And at this point, those cases are taking about 18 months, and you're subject to all sorts of other delays. So they were very close to the finish line, and then they got married, and it all went south. So that's what happened. It's one or the other. You either get married and file a marriage-based case, or you refrain from getting married and you file a fiance visa. In general, I recommend marriage visas over fiance visas, and there's a lot of reasons for that we can get into. But I'm also here to answer any questions that you have as well. And before I end this video, I'm going to share with you one more tip that I think you don't want to miss. Okay, we have a Facebook user asking a question about a visitor visa, 72 days and doesn't have an answer. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope tomorrow your visa gets issued, but let me give you a few thoughts of mine on visitor visas. The key to getting approved for a visitor visa is to show that you have a really compelling reason to go back to your home country. Most people get this completely wrong. Most people think that they need to show a really compelling reason to get to visit the U.S. So they focus on the U.S. part, but in fact, they're better off focusing on why they're going to come back. They're in school, they're expected back in school, they have a job, they're expected back at their job, they have real estate in their home country, they have a car in their home country, they have family in their home country, a wife, children, etc. Those are the reasons why someone would come back to their home country. So I think that's it. Another Facebook user says AP process. Another one says 221G. Please let me know what questions you have about this. I'm ready to talk and answer anything that you have. Subway tunnel. Josh, my case is kind of difficult. My sponsor, she was married to aliens before. Married to aliens, it sounds like some sort of science fiction thing. The word aliens is kind of a loaded term at this point. But I don't really know much about your question, but I appreciate you tuning in on Facebook, and I'll try to offer some thoughts on what I think you're getting at. So if the person who petitioned for you through marriage was married previously, you might think that would make the case difficult. But in fact, most people or many people get married more than once. And the fact that you've been married more than once doesn't mean that your marriage relationship is not genuine. All it means is that you have to show that your current marriage relationship is genuine, that you intend to share your lives as spouses do, that you have spent time together, that your families know each other, that you went on trips together, that you have financial arrangements together. However you plan to share your life, you should show evidence of that. And the fact that you were previously married doesn't necessarily call that into question. So our Facebook user saying visitor visa 72 days, no answer, AP process. What to do? Wait or send email to the embassy for unstuck. Well, you can always email the embassy. Our office works on all sorts of immigration cases. We help people get unstuck. That's what our mission is. And if you're seeing this video and you have a delayed immigration case, your immigration case is delayed for whatever reason, and you want help, I'm going to put my email up right here, right now. Okay. So this is my email. I want you to send me an email if your case is delayed. And on the subject line, I want you to write no more waiting. Okay, no more waiting. Put that in the subject line and send me an email and tell me what's going on and tell me how I can help. Sometimes your case might be delayed because you haven't gotten an interview yet and you've been waiting for an interview. Sometimes your case is delayed because you had an interview and then they make you wait. Whether it's naturalization or marriage green card or a visa or a work visa, I want you to tell me what's going on and how I can help you. And this is my email again. You can email me at josh@jgoldlaw.com. Put in the subject line, no more waiting. If you do that, you'll get my immediate attention. I'll respond. I'll let you know what you can do to get your case unstuck. You can finish our case if we contact your office. Yeah, the best way to reach me is my email address, josh@jgoldlaw.com. Put no more waiting in there. As I said before, that's the best way to get in touch with me, the best way to reach out, and put some details in there about what's going on. Explain to me what type of case you have and how the delay is impacting your life. Maybe the delay is separating you from your family or your loved ones. Maybe you have a scholarship at a university and this is your chance to get cutting edge education that will promote your career. Or if you have an employment-based case, Maybe the visa is what connects you with your job opportunity. Whatever it is, I want to hear what's going on so that I can figure out how best to help you and support you. Um, I think you can get unstuck because they send our case to Washington, D.C. for a background check. Okay, let me say this. This is very important. If you're told that the reason your case is delayed is because of a background check, okay, or a security check, then there's an extremely good chance that we can help you get that case resolved. Because a background check or a security check, that's just an excuse for inaction. And when we take action to resolve the delay, the background check will be resolved. All right, we have here Joylyn. Joylyn Fedrick, thank you so much for joining, our good friend on Facebook. I'm going to try to answer your question here. You said, I have a family member. Her daughter filed for her. She did her interview twice and she got turned down. Well, Joylyn, I'm very, very sorry to hear that. I don't know why she had to do her interview twice. That's highly unusual. And I also don't know why she was denied. So the first thing that I would want to do to analyze what happened in that case, I would want to see the denial letter. I'd want to read that very carefully. And sometimes before there's a denial, there's a request for evidence or a request for additional documents. I'd really like to read that and see what's going on. So again, my email is josh@jgoldlaw.com. Send me an email, tell me what's going on, and tell me how I can help. And thank you for your question. Okay, we have here LeechC27 TV US, our friend looking cool with his sunglasses on YouTube. Let's see what your question is. Okay, grab a little drink of water, keep myself hydrated. I have a conditional green card, which expires next year in May. Everything is good in our marriage. We just got our second child. But the problem is we decided to have separate bank accounts. Is that a problem? Okay, I'll put this question up. So the I-7, so to get your green card, to get your conditional green card, you had to prove that your marriage was based on a genuine relationship. You had to prove that you and your wife share your lives together, that you're really a genuine couple, and that it's not just some BS that you did to get your green card. So for the I-751, that's an application to remove the conditions on your green card. You're going from a 2-year green card to a 10-year green card. And basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to show that your relationship continues and is ongoing, and that it continues to be genuine, and they're basically giving you a checkup. And so the things that we want to see to get that approved, if you have a second child together, that would be extremely powerful evidence that the two of you have a genuine relationship because you have children together. So I think you're probably going to win the case. But joint financial documents are extremely important. To the extent that you share your money, that would be a good thing. One of the most important documents is a joint married tax return. If you have not filed a joint married tax return in the past, I recommend that you consider amending your tax return. When you go to file your taxes for next year and the year after that and the year after that, I recommend that you file a joint married tax return. All this is background information. Now, getting to your question, what if you have separate bank accounts? I think if you have 2 children together and you file taxes jointly and you have lots of photos and you live together and you have a ton of compelling evidence, if the only thing that's missing is you have separate bank accounts, you're probably okay. But you definitely would want to have that reviewed by a lawyer before you take action, and don't rely on my advice because I haven't reviewed your case or anything. That's just my general impression. But I hope this information is helpful. If you need more help on your I-751, shoot me an email. I'd love to give you some advice. Or or help you out with that. So I hope that answer is helpful. Carol Shield, our friend on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. It says here, COVID really messed up our timeline. That's why we opted for the K1 visa, waiting now for visa from the NVC. Well, I hope you get the NVC processes your case very quickly. If your case continues to drag on and on and on and you get frustrated, I want you to reach out to me and send me an email with more details. And in the subject line, put no more waiting. And I want you to tell me when you filed and where you filed, and tell me a little more about how it's impacting you and your fiance. And I'd be happy to take a look at it and see what we can do. Here we have Shelly Ann, looking good in her garden in the picture here. All right, our friend on Facebook. Good night. I filed an I-129 in August. Do you think I should get married and do a spousal visa and abandon the I-129? Generally, I don't like the I-129. And I have a video on that, and there's all sorts of reasons why I don't like the I-129F. I much prefer marriage visa. But yeah, I think you should consider it. But I think it's sort of a question of, I mean, you filed it in August, so you have September, October, November. Well, you've only had 60 days. It might make sense to refile. Yeah. I mean, you're going to save a lot of effort. Here's a Facebook user. Sir, I was able to file Mandamus with your team. That's a smart move. The court already has a summons. I have a question. Will my husband have to go through an interview and a medical exam again? If yes, can the petitioner go with him to the interview? Okay, I'm so glad I'm here on Facebook and YouTube to answer this question directly from you. Will you have to do another interview and a medical exam again? The answer is maybe. So sometimes when my clients who file mandamus lawsuits have to go and do another medical exam and interview, they get upset because the interview and the medical exam costs a lot of money. It's inconvenient, and it adds a lot of additional stress and time and processing to the case. But nevertheless, if you are waiting for a delayed visa and they ask you to do another medical exam again, that's a very, very good sign. That means that they probably want to approve you, because if they didn't want to approve you, why would they ask you to do another medical exam? So I had one client who absolutely refused to do another medical exam. He said, this is unfair. I don't have the money. I can't do it. It's ridiculous. Why are they doing that? And I just said to him, dude, there's nothing I can do. You have to do this medical exam. They're not going to process your paperwork if you don't do the medical exam. So finally, he did the medical exam and he got approved. But to answer your question, will your husband have to do another interview and medical exam again? The answer is, I don't know. It depends. Is the medical exam going to be expired at the time the case is approved? If it is approved, and we hope it is approved, will the interview need to be revalidated? We don't know. We don't know when it's going to expire, but if it is expired, he'll have to do it again. And will you be able to go with him to the interview? Most of the time, most of the consulates, as far as I know, do not allow more than one person in there. It's just going to be for him. You could always accompany him to the consulate and wait outside for support. But for the most part, they don't allow him in. And I want to thank you again for being a client. And I hope my question was helpful to you. My answer was helpful to you. And I hope you don't have to do the medical exam again. 203G. I know what that is. It's for expired cases. And so I wonder what your question is. Oh, Carol's using our office in Boston. Thank you. I'm so happy about that. What other questions can I answer? I'm here for you guys. It's on a cold, chilly, rainy night here in Los Angeles, and just getting ready to go home to my family and chase my kids around for a few hours, but thought I would pop in and answer a few questions. Once again, if I can do anything to help anyone out, I want you to email me at josh@jgoldlaw.com. If your case is stuck and you want to get unstuck, send me an email. Put "no more waiting" in the subject line. If you have questions about any kind of immigration case, and you can ask me here directly. And if you want to send me an email, you can send me your question there. Um, Mira, I've asked many times why I was told by your team that you could not help me. We have an I-130 administrative process for a long time. We've married 3 years. He lives in his country. Well, I don't know the details of your case. I don't know what your situation is. When we say we can't help someone, it's not because we don't want to help. We want to help everyone. It's because there's certain criteria that we have, and don't take it the wrong way. What I'm always afraid of is taking money from someone and asking a client for money to solve their problems and then being unsuccessful. I'm very careful about the cases that we take on, and we only take on certain cases that fit within our criteria. Um, well, listen, you weren't given a reason. Why don't you send me an email? And I would be more than happy to personally take a close look at your case again. We also have a large staff in our office. We have new people, and maybe there was some mistake that was made. I would be thrilled to help you with your case. And so please, I encourage you to email me, and I'll be attentive and try to be as useful as I can. And if we can't help you, I'll try to explain why that is. Again, I don't mean anything personal about that. You've emailed me with no response. Try me again. This is my email. I'm here. I'll take a look at it. I don't know what to say, except I'll try and do my best to help you. And if there's a way to help you, I will. I mean, I get up in the morning and go to work to help people. And the people that I try to help are people just like you, who are separated from their loved ones, from their spouses, by these ridiculous, unfair, discriminatory, incompetent consulates, embassies, immigration offices, and so on. One of the things we've been, so 203G is expired at the U.S. Embassy in Djibouti since November 2021. Is there any way your team is guaranteed to bring it back alive? So anytime you hire a lawyer, whether it's me or anyone else, I can't guarantee you that you're going to win. I am very clear about that with everyone who I work with. And we're very proud of our results, and we're proud of our work, and we get great results. And our record is something fills me with joy. I'm proud. But I've never promised someone that I can win the case, and I never will. And I think that if you work with a lawyer who promises you that you're going to win, or tells you they have a 99% approval rate, then you should run for the hills, because that person is probably not telling you the truth, or it's somewhat deceptive. No lawyer has a 99% approval rate. I don't know what that even means. No one's out there calculating how many cases they file, what their approval rate is, and it's never 99%. 203G is for cases that expire, but often that notice is erroneous. So it's often a mistake. So I would like you to email me at josh@jgoldlaw.com and share some details about your 203G scenario. And I'd like to have my team and I will take a close look at your case and see if there's a way to help you out. I can't promise you that you'll win. I'll only promise you that I can treat your case professionally, and I'll look at it very, very closely. That's what we can do. So I hope this is helpful to you all. And I appreciate you joining me and spending time. And I would like to hear any more questions that you have. Um, and while I'm waiting for some more questions, I'd like to share a few more pieces of advice with you. Um, One thing that's been on my mind recently is about the mindset that you need to be successful for an immigration case. A lot of times people assume that they're going to get approved. They're very confident, and then they become very frustrated when it becomes a lot of work or it takes a long time. That's not the good mindset, to be entitled to approval. That's not a good mindset. A lot of people have the opposite mindset where they're completely stressed out. They're nervous, they're anxious. Immigration is something that fills them with fear and anxiety. That is also not a good mindset to have. I think the right mindset to have for an immigration case is a relentless determination to succeed. A relentless determination to succeed. That's what you want. Relentless determination to succeed. This is what you want. Right here. You want a relentless determination to succeed. I put an extra comma in there by accident. But anyway, that's the idea. You want to be focused. You want to be ready to get approved, and you want to do what you can to win. Whatever it takes. You want to be resourceful. You want to fight, and you want to be focused on winning. Don't assume you're going to get approved. Don't be entitled to you're not entitled to approval, and you're also not going to be so anxious that you're filled with inaction. There he is, my hero as well. Let's see here. All right. Best wishes to you too, brother. So let's see. Yeah, I think everybody should have a relentless determination to succeed. That's the mindset that you want. And I think you should focus in on that. And write it down on a piece of paper, tape it to your door, text to yourself with that image in your mind of approval. And ask yourself every day, what do I need to do to get my case approved? Be coachable. Work with your lawyer and follow their advice. Some clients we have hire us, don't listen to any of their advice. It's not a good fit. It's not a good working relationship. But that's my message to you. Hope this is helpful. I want to thank everybody for joining in, and I'll be back in soon with more information. Thank you.